Hey, what's good, guys? How's it going? Brent here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this new video. Guys, we are starting to wrap up and finish Kevin Barnett's devotional book, What's Your True Identity? A superhero devotional. You guys got me today, and we're going to be talking about one of the more famous X-Men characters, probably comics' most famous, most well-known shapeshifter. We're talking about Mystique. So as you guys know, Mystique is a mutant, blue skin, red hair, able to transform, morph, turn into other characters, into other people, looking exactly like a carbon copy of that person. This is great. You know, for her, this is a great superpower to have. Just think of all the sabotage, all the deceit, all the deception, the undercover spy stuff that can happen. This is straight up chaos. This superpower is great. If you're a mutant, if you're Mystique, if you're a Christian, it ain't gonna cut it. You see, you guys, the Bible is very firm on this idea of being in the world, but not of the world, right? It basically means that as we as followers of Jesus who call ourselves Christians, we should not conform to the world's standards, right? God has given us his standards, and because we follow him, of course, we follow his standards. Makes sense. The ERV, the easy to read version of the Bible of Romans 12:2, a verse that many of you know, it says this, do not change yourself to be like the people of this world, but let God change you inside with a new way of thinking. Then you will be able to understand and accept what God wants for you. You will be able to know what is good and pleasing to him and what is perfect. The NIV version, the version that most people are familiar with, starts this verse saying, do not be conformed to the patterns of this world. All right, so we're seeing that we shouldn't be like the world, that the way that the world works is how we as Christians, we do not operate in that. And we know that unfortunately there have been Christians who have blended in with the world, whose walk doesn't match their talk. That even though they profess to follow God and they say that they love God and they talk about God, when you see them out in public or you look at what they're doing, their behaviors, or sometimes if you look on their social media, what they have posted, what they said, what they're doing doesn't necessarily line up. The point that I'm trying to make here is that we as Christians are supposed to be different from the world. You should be able to tell who follows Jesus and who doesn't. Kevin calls these people who blend in with the world, who present themselves as, someone else to gain the approval of others. He calls them spiritual chameleons, where they blend in, where they don't show their true colors, where they try to act and be of the world or to be, worldly. But when in fact they're Christians, you can see this hypocrisy. You can see how it can confuse people. You can see how that person's not being integrous to who they were originally meant to be. And we know that the way that the world works and the way that heaven works, it's not compatible. It doesn't mix. It's oil and water, right? This is why, the Bible talks about God being holy, where he and sin cannot mix together. Perfect God, sinful world, sinful people doesn't mix. As Christians, we're called to be different from the world. We're supposed to be salt and light, right? And this is what I believe makes being a follower of Jesus really hard at times. And yes, following Jesus can be hard. But I'm not going to lie and tell you that following Jesus makes life easy or perfect. And I'm not going to tell you that if you believe in Jesus, God is going to give you everything that you want. That is false. That is not true, right? Bad things still happens to Christians. there's still unfairness in the world. But when you follow Jesus, life is complete. So with that being said, wanting to be like the world will leave you empty. It'll leave you dry. It'll leave you confused. It'll leave you disappointed because, my friends, you were created for something more. You were created for something better. The kids nowadays, they like to say, you're built differently, right? You're built different. And that's exactly what God is trying to tell you. You were built different. You were created in my image, not the image of the world. There's no need for you to be someone else or to be like someone else. There is no such thing as I want to be like Mike Christians. Shout out to all the 90s Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan fans. But we shouldn't want to be anyone else other than who God created us to be. God created you because he wanted you. He created you especially for a reason, on purpose, because that's him showing how much he loves you. All right. And I'm going to leave it with this point. This generation loves to talk about authenticity, right? They love to talk about being real, right? We've heard songs about fake love. You turn on the news, we got fake news. How about we talk about not being fake Christians anymore and actually walking the walk and talking the talk and being 100% the people that God called us to be and that he created us to be. So guys, man, it was good hanging out with you guys again. Our next video will be with Ian. He'll be wrapping up this devotional series. So stay tuned for that. Of course, don't forget to grab your copy of Kevin's book. Also, don't forget to follow him on his social media pages. Links will be in the description. And of course, if you want to, you can always follow us on Instagram, Facebook. Our links are in the description as well. Until then, you guys, stay safe. See you next time. God bless you guys. Peace.